Hello everyone. Today I just want to make a video talking about Tekken 8 Bryan a little bit and why I'm worried about that character and why I'm not as excited to play him as I was before I got a chance to actually try him in the demo. I've talked a lot about Bryan and Tekken 8 on this channel and on my Twitch, and I've specifically talked a lot about how I feel that I'm not really uh, enamored with him in that game, and I'm not really looking forward to playing him. And a lot of people have asked me, why that is and what I don't like about Tekken 8 Bryan. Um, and so I thought I would just make this video to kind of summarize my thoughts on the character and get an idea on if you guys feel the same way. I just have some random Tekken 8 gameplay from my stream in the background. Pretty unrelated to the video, but just thought you could have something pretty to look at. So, when I'm saying that I don't like Tekken 8 Bryan and I might not play him as much in that game as I do in Tekken 7, there's a couple reasons. Tekken 7 Bryan is a character that is very, very strong, but pretty difficult to use, and a lot of the fun from the character comes from his difficulty. I think it was like Low High that said that the reason that Bryan is the hardest character in the game, in his opinion, is because he doesn't have a move to win the match. Basically meaning that he doesn't have like a really, really good single like option coverage move that is going to accomplish a lot for him in neutral. He doesn't have like a safe down forward 2 launcher. He doesn't have like something like an electric. He doesn't have a really good, really fast low that's really abusable. He doesn't have something that's like so good that he can just kind of abuse it over and over again, right? So you have to kind of get creative with your move choice. You have to use a lot of different moves in your kit, because being a counter hit character with slow buttons, it can be really difficult to set up counter hits. So you have to poke a lot, you have to move around the screen a lot, you have to do all kinds of stuff to set up your counter hits. And that's what makes the character so fun, in my opinion, is that you have to really think outside the box playing him. You have to really get creative and use a lot of different tools and work really hard for a lot of your damage. Unless you're just doing hatchet kick, because that move is insanely broken, but that's a topic for another video. But the idea that Bryan doesn't have a move to win the match, as in, he doesn't have just one move that's going to do everything for him, and he doesn't have anything that's super, overtuned, like I said, besides hatchet kick, makes him really fun to play. And it makes him a very rewarding character to win with, because a lot of the time you have to really outplay someone that's better than you to beat them. So, with that out of the way, we have to talk about the problem in Tekken 8. And the problem is Bryan's new move, quarter circle back 1. If you watched my stream where I was playing Bryan, or you've watched anybody playing Tekken 8 Bryan, you probably saw this move quite a lot. The move is, I believe it's a 15 or 16 frame high. It's +5 on block. It knocks down on normal hit. It's a counter hit launcher. It's an instant tornado. It has ridiculous range. It hits from like range 3. And it has ridiculous recovery on whiff as well. So, on paper, this move seems really, really overtuned. And in practice, it is also really, really overtuned. It's not really a move that fits Bryan very much. He's kind of not really the character that's using like traditional plus frames to start pressure, but yet they gave him a move that's very similar to like an Anna quarter circle forward 1, which is just a plus on block high. You can start pressure. It's a little bit ridiculous, right? It's one of those moves that we were talking about earlier that Bryan never really had, which is, a move that kind of does everything. If you're not really sure what to do playing Tekken 8 Bryan, you can probably just hit QCB+1 and you're going to be okay. And I know you guys are probably thinking, well, the game's not even out yet. How are you you know, gonna act like you know how Bryan's gonna play in that game. If the move gets changed before the game comes out, you know, you guys were right, but I doubt that it will, because there's been a demo and 2 closed network tests, and both of them, all 3 of them, the move was exactly the same, and it seems like they have no intention of changing it. If it does get changed, that's great. I hope it does, but if not, it's going to be a real problem. That move is really, really overpowered. And again, you're probably thinking, well, every character has overpowered moves in Tekken 8. That's like the point. You know, everybody got huge buffs and all that stuff. But the thing is, most characters that got new overpowered moves, at least from what we know so far, their moves are usually tied to heat. Bryan's QC+1, you could put that move in Tekken 7 and it would be the exact same. There's nothing about that move that reflects the new system of the game. It's just a really, really overpowered button. So another thing is that Bryan in that game, when he's in heat, he's very weak, or at least that's what I thought. And then I started realizing that QC+1 in heat chips like crazy. And don't quote me on this, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that Bryan QC+1 chips anyway, even if you're not in heat, which is like utterly ridiculous. That's another property that's completely broken that you can add to that move. It chips, I'm pretty sure, and then in heat, you know, it chips, and all his other moves are chipping too. So I thought that Bryan in Tekken 8 in heat was pretty weak, one of the weaker characters, until I realized that when you go in heat with Bryan, you literally are just going to be doing QC+1, 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 back 1, all these moves that are just chipping, right? But the main one is QC+1. So when you're playing neutral, you're going to be doing a shit ton of QC+1 because it's insanely overpowered. And when you're not playing neutral and you're just in heat doing shit to your opponent, you're also just going to be doing QC+1 because why not? It's plus on block, it hits from all the way on the other side of the screen, it recovers like instantly on whiff, counter hit launcher, knockdown. You might be thinking, why is that a problem? Don't you want your character to be buffed? And I answer, yes, I would like my character, obviously, to be strong. The problem is, though, when you have a move like that that's so overtuned, that is going to be 70% of what you're doing in a match, is just doing Bryan quarter circle back 1. If you think of a character like Anna with her QCF1, right? Plus on block, huge range, really hard to whiff punish, right? What are you seeing when you're watching an Anna player play? Half the time they do a move, it's QCF1, because that move is just so good. Why are you not taking free plus frames, right? When characters have moves that are that strong, it becomes such a huge part of their core kit. It's not fun to watch, it's not fun to play against, it's not even really fun to do because it gets really boring just doing QC+1. And again, like I said, obviously I don't know how the game's going to work, I don't know how everything's going to play out, but just looking at moves like Bryan's QC+1 that we have in Tekken 7, similar moves with similar properties, it makes the character really boring because those moves are so strong that that's what they're doing most of the time to start their offense, to do anything, right? Bryan QC+1 I don't think is going to be any different. I think it's too strong, and they also, give Bryan QC+1, they nerf taunt, and taunt is like, one of the things that makes Bryan fun to play, and now taunt feels almost useless to learn how to do because it's so weak. But, you're encouraged now to just be doing QC+1 every 5 seconds, so oh well, take your taunt nerf and take your new move, right? And I don't really like that. The other stuff that Bryan got, like they nerfed Mach Kick and Northern Cross, they're not counter hit launchers anymore because they gave you QC+1. They want you to do QC+1 now because the game is about aggression. So now instead of your Mach Kick and your Northern Cross, now you have a plus on block counter hit launcher, Tekken 8 aggression, right? And it's like, well, I really liked doing Mach Kick and Northern Cross. I don't like doing QC+1. The other things that Bryan got in that game, like I said, he's really weak in heat. His heat smash sucks. It's not really that fun to be in heat with that character like it is with characters like Kazuya or Paul, where they have a bunch of new stuff that's really fun to use. Bryan also got weird new transitions, 1+2-1 into swayback, down 4-2-1 into swayback. It's just stuff that doesn't really fit the character. And I feel the same way about QC+1. I don't feel like it fits the character, and I wasn't really having very much fun using it. It was fun just like trolling with it and being like, oh, look at this broken move. But then, you know, in the second beta and the demo, it was like that was still all I was doing. Although I guess Bryan wasn't in the demo, so I can't say that. But again, when the game comes out, that's what Bryan's gonna be. I think it's just a lot of QCB+1. That move is a bit absurd. And again, like I said in the beginning of the video, something that makes Bryan so fun is that he doesn't really have a super cheap abusable move like that just does everything for him, but now he does. And I think that takes a lot of his charm away, as you know, from playing him. That's really the main reason why I'm not excited to play Tekken 8 Bryan. It's legitimately just because of that one move, and then all the other new stuff that he got. It just doesn't really feel like it fits the character. I don't know. I feel like I'm sounding very old right now talking about this. But again, this is just my opinion, and the game's not even out yet, so who knows. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about all this. If you agree, if you disagree, if you've had a chance to play it. Hopefully something changes when the game comes out, because the idea of playing that version of Bryan does not really excite me. I feel like I'll probably play a different character. But who knows. But yeah, so like I said, let me know what you guys think, and if you agree or disagree. I'd like to hear your thoughts, but yeah, that's basically why I don't like Tekken 8 Bryan. So thanks for watching.